Let's talk about something that's ruining people's lives and modern relationships. Unrealistic expectations. Because some people want the world without giving anything in return. And some women want a 6-figure guy, 6 feet tall, ripped emotional intelligence, and faithful. But you bring what? Let's be honest, life isn't easy and relationships aren't fantasy. They're a partnership. And a lot of people forgot that. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and let's get into it.
Who gives a shit if he's 6 feet tall? Does he treat you well? Does he treat you like a queen? Does he treat you with love? Does he treat you with respect? Anytime you put up these walls and these high expectations around how someone's supposed to show up in your life, you are closing yourself off to the people that can actually potentially be a good match for you.
Women want a man that's 6 foot with a 6-pack, making 6 figures, but ain't even got $6,000 in the bank. Probably got 6 kids.
And you know, that's what trips me out. It's like we say women got the unrealistic expectations, and some of them do, but ain't nobody got more unicorn, fairy tale, Dora the Explorer expectations of the opposite sex than us, men. Again, some women do expect a man to be 6 feet tall and make 6 figures and have a 6-pack abs, and that's unrealistic for most men. But I know like 10 dudes already that fit into that category. All you got to do is have a good job and some good genetics, and you're straight. But look at us. Like, what do we expect of a woman? She got to be a virgin, but she got to be a freak. She got to pay half the bills, but she got to do 100% of the cleaning, the cooking, the child raising. She got to be exhausted from all of that, you know, all the cooking and washing and cleaning and all that good stuff, and still be horny enough to meet our sexual needs and get a good night's rest, but also wake up in the middle of the night in case we want some head and a turkey sandwich. That ain't it. She also got to give birth to all our babies because, you know, we got to have that legacy. But then she can't have no stretch marks, and she got to lose that baby weight in 30 days or less. And then she got to do it while fighting postpartum depression by herself, because we're going to tell her she having an attitude or something like that, because all we thinking about is we ain't got no vagina in the last 6 weeks that she got to take to heal. That ain't it. Then she can get older, but she can't look older. Otherwise, we're going to say that she's falling off. Like, the list goes on, but just tell me something. How many women do you know that fit into that category? None. So who really got the unrealistic expectations?
Men are expected to do so much for the first date. Because I'm the prize, right? He's supposed to win me over. That logic is just so silly to me. I don't get it. Some women act like men have nothing to offer when they offer so much. And I could argue a lot of men offer more than what women offer. So why are we the prizes?
Unrealistic expectations. So, as my husband and my man, you're not only supposed to take out the trash, but you're also supposed to fix anything that goes wrong in our house. Right. You're supposed to fix my car, and you're supposed to make sure it's filled up all the time, because that's what you're supposed to do.
Well, as my wife, I expect for you to cook all the meals to my liking. You're supposed to clean up after everybody, including me and the kids and anybody else that comes over. And you're supposed to be able to make love at the drop of a hat whenever I want.
Well, clearly you've been watching one too many shows, and I'm not your mom, I'm not your grandmama, and I'm not your auntie.
Well, I'm not your uncle, I'm not your daddy, and I'm not your brother.
So it means we probably should stop looking at these standards that somebody else has set and figure out how to create our own standard. Think about it.
There is nothing more frustrating than knowing that you put an unrealistic expectation on yourself every freaking day, but you can deal with it because it's just like you and this pressure that you put on yourself, but you can tell it distances you from the people that you love, your friends and your family, because they cannot relate. Like, they don't put that same pressure on themselves. They don't understand why you feel the need to do all these things, and you just like can't explain it, and it just like creates a divide between you and your loved ones, and it's hard. And I'm making this video because I'm on a cruise right now, like a family cruise. There's like 20 of us on here, big family cruise. Love that, like had to come, right? But I also run a business, run sales teams, make content. Like, I have so many things that I'm trying to do right now. And it's hard being trapped on a boat with no Wi-Fi connection that's like spotty in and out. Like, I can't run my meetings. it's frustrating. I can't work out the way I want to work out. I can't eat the way I want to eat. And it's like, I want to spend time with my family. And that's like why I'm here, is to spend time with family, intentional time, because I'm always fucking working. But then it's like, I can't even spend time with them because my head is not in the headspace of like being able to have fun, because all I'm thinking about is the shit that I'm not doing. And it sucks. And I'm making this video right now because I was supposed to make videos and I just couldn't because I'm crying my makeup and now my little cousin's knocking on my door. Anyways, I look like this crackhead that they left in my room. They're supposed to put animals. Mine looks like a crackhead. Like me right now. Crackhead.
Stop it. Get some help.
We have been rewarding kids for participation. Everyone gets a trophy, even if your soccer team lost 10 straight games and you lost 12-0. They've been rewarded for participation. And we're shocked that they want to make 6 figures coming out of college, that they want to raise in the first 6 to 8 weeks because they showed up on time and checked the box. How many of you are dealing with this? Hands all over the place. Come on. Unrealistic expectations lead to unmet expectations. So how does this play out? Millennials and Gen Z want more money and they want more mobility based on participation, just showing up in time. And here's what happens. When they don't get it, they leave you.
Do y'all want to know why we have unrealistic expectations when it comes to men? I'm going to show you. I just had dinner with my dad and he walks to my car like 5 minutes before I leave. I don't know what he's doing. And I get in my car and he has leftovers and money on the front seat. Like, this is why our expectations are so high. Because our dads treat us like freaking angels.
If you've communicated with a friend your expectations in a friendship and they still do not put in that effort to show up the way they committed to show up to, let them go. They're done. However, if you set an expectation and they vocally tell you, hey, I have a lot going on in my life, or, you know, I'm sorry, I can't show up for you the way I normally would want to. They express that they want to show up for you that way, but at the moment they can't, or straight up, hey, I don't want to show up that way. And you can't necessarily appreciate that and respect that decision. That's something with you, not them, because they communicated it with you. So as long as you communicate, they communicate, you're good. You're Gucci.
I'm going to be a totally 110%. I think I didn't find my husband yet because all the women expectations is really having the men go into a hole. Because who the hell is y'all to say y'all want a man that makes $500,000 a year?
You don't make half of that. You don't make a
They
quarter
hide
of that.
because of y'all unrealistic ass expectations.
Amen.
Send me somebody that got enough to make sure that I got lights on, water running, I'm smiling and we eating. Y'all asking for the most. Y'all want a man to buy y'all a boat, I can't even say it right. Y'all want a man to buy y'all a boat, a yacht, and a crib.
Where is
and
reality?
Pay for your kids' schooling, your desires, your kids' desires. Like, that shit, you hear how unrealistic that shit sounds? This how a lot of y'all women sound. Ridiculous.
Amen.
That's why we ain't got nobody yet, because y'all scaring them into a damn hole. Please, separate me from everybody else.
Separate me too.
Husband, come find me. You ain't gotta make $500.
Shit, I'm on the way.
You can make $500.
Make it
if
work.
you can make that shit work all year and I'm eating,
Amen.
I'm good.
Let's start with the basics. People expect perfection now. Men are supposed to be protectors, providers, therapists, personal comedians, all while getting barely any appreciation back. Meanwhile, some women think just existing is enough, like being pretty is a personality trait. And it is not just women. There are guys out there too. Think they deserve a 10 when they're unemployed, live with their mom, and haven't touched a dumbbell in years. Expectations without effort is delusion. You want him to make $100K, but you quit every job after 2 months. You want her to be submissive and loyal, but you're emotional, unavailable, and can't commit. You want luxury, but you bring laziness. You want a man, but act like a child. You want a wife, but you treat women like disposable toys. It's delusion on both sides. Let's call it what it is.
There are a lot of women who want a man that has a lot of money. They have all of these like requirements. They gotta be good looking, they gotta be in good shape, they gotta have a lot of money and a successful career, and you know, all of these things. But I want to talk about the money part specifically. So like I said, like if you're in your early 20s, mid 20s, you know, You should not base a man's value on the amount of money that he has. And I'm going to tell you why, because of my own personal experience. I was in my mid-20s when I met my now husband, and he had like no money. I mean, he was a PFC in the Marine Corps, he lived in the barracks, like didn't have shit for money. We had so much in common, we loved hanging out, we had so much fun together, so I didn't even like think about it. It wasn't an issue for me at all. I basically was his sugar mama for a while. So anyway, we ended up moving in together, and even though I was spending money on him and I was the one with the money, I still didn't have much money. But this was our first place together, and that's me right there unlocking the front door. It was in the like sketchiest trailer park ever. There were holes in the floor, like you could like behind the stove, you could see a hole to the outside. There was a hole underneath the kitchen sink. I mean, there were mice coming in, roaches. It didn't matter how clean I kept the place because there were fucking holes in this trailer. It was a $600 a month trailer, and that included everything: electric, water, sewer, internet, cable, everything. $600. That's how you know it's a shitbox. But even though he was broke as fuck, he has so much ambition and drive, and he's just such an intelligent person, and I knew that he wanted more. He's a hard worker, and it was just like a temporary thing. So over time together, like with me, like supporting him in any way that he needed me to, he got out of the Marine Corps, went to college, busted his ass, and now he does like really, really well, and I'm able to be a stay-at-home mom, and we live a very comfortable life. So if you're gonna judge a man based on his money at that moment in time, and you're not giving him a chance, there's a possibility you're really going to miss out on someone wonderful.
This is why modern women have unrealistic standards. The modern man has to be successful, compete against other men, become something, create some kind of value for himself, to then have the opportunity to then pick the kind of woman that he wants. The modern woman, her strategy is, I should just be picked because of who I am. I don't have to compete for no man. Men should compete for me. But the man that you want had to compete to be the man that you now like. So this is why this is completely unrealistic. You're not gonna get the man that you want, sweetheart, if you don't compete for him. You want a man that is 6 foot, 6 inches, 6 figures. That man is going to have his pickings with women. And if you're not ready to compete for him, you won't get that man. So accept that you're probably only gonna get what you settle for.
I swear to you, one of the reasons that women have such high expectations for men that they're dating nowadays is literally because of these rom-com books. Specifically, and I love her to death, but I'm reading Colleen Hoover, and I'm sorry, but I was in this chapter, whatever, and this guy, neurosurgeon, had just worked 48 hours, right? And in this little scene in my book, the girl gets a knock on her door at like 10 p.m. and she opens it because she's like, who the F is this? And it's that guy. And he's literally wearing his scrubs, his doctor neurosurgeon scrubs. And he's like all exhausted. Like, she says to him, like, how did you find my apartment? Like, you knew the building I lived in, but like, how did you know my unit? And he said that, oh, I knocked on 28 doors until I found your door. This man in the book was literally like, I am so exhausted. I just worked a 48-hour shift without sleeping. And then I had to see you. I wanted to see you so badly that I had to do it. And I had to do it. I had to knock on all these doors just to find your apartment because I wanted to see you. When the F does that happen? First of all, that is very unrealistic. I don't think I've ever heard of something even similar in my life.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
This is the reason why so many career-driven women have problems in the dating world. A lot of these women aren't staying in their physical lane or their mental lane when it comes to the men. Because now you want these men that make all this here money and do all of these here things for you, which is a very small percentage of men. If you say, I want a man that make $100,000, you eliminated 85% of all men. 85%, that leaves you 15%. Half of that 15% is married. 7.5%, half of them gay. live an alternative lifestyle. Take that down to 3.5%, 4% that you got to choose from. Then you want him over 6 feet, 2%. He can't be obese, 1%. You don't like Sagittarius, Leos, or Cancers. Well, now you at 0.5% of a man that you got to look for. You got to find him, and then he got to like you back. That type of man that makes that type of money has requirements for a woman too that now you have to meet. This is why so many women are struggling that make money when they step out here into the dating world because they're unrealistic for their dating pool.
Why are men expected to act like a husband in a boyfriend stage, but you don't feel as though you need to act like a wife in a girlfriend stage until somebody chooses to make you a wife? Make it make sense. If you never displayed qualities of being a wife, why would anybody want to make you one? It sounds like women just never want to put any effort first. Like, we feel like we just have to offer minimal effort and that should be significant enough. That and the cat should just have it in the bag. I don't know about y'all, but if I'm choosing to be in a relationship, I'm in it to win it. Do you want dinner, baby? Massage, baby? Baby, what do you need? Y'all are literally admitting to doing half and then wondering why you still are not a wife. And they got the audacity to be complaining about why Suzanne's a wife before you. You haven't showed anything. You're doing what any other do. Stand out.
I think one of the most unrealistic expectations you can have in a relationship is that your partner isn't going to be friends with people of the opposite gender or even be in the same room as them. I understand trauma and trust issues from previous relationships, but I'm convinced until your confidence is high enough to let your man be in the same room as Madison Beer and not care because you know your man is about you. What we forget is when a person is our person, it doesn't matter who we're with. Deep down, if this person is actually your person, they are gonna think you are the end all be all and no one will turn their head. That's why I've built myself to a point where I don't care if a guy I'm talking to or in a relationship with is in a car with other girls and his friends. Yes, is it possible that something could go wrong? Yes, could they cheat on me? Yes, that's inevitable. If somebody wants to cheat on you, they're gonna cheat on you. It doesn't matter if they're in a certain circumstance. Keep in mind, I don't believe that one-on-one they should be hanging out unless this is like a family friend. Then I just don't really see the point in needing to do something like that. I don't think that you can make a friend and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go hang out with them. Just consider that the next time you want to flip. I know it's easy to flip, but just consider.
A few days ago, a guy told me that I have completely unrealistic expectations around dating, and here's why this is a good thing. The reality is most people are deeply unhappy in their relationships. This is because a lot of us enter them thinking that somebody else is going to make us happier or heal us in some way. And then they kind of become more like wound mates rather than soulmates. And relationships bring a lot of pain and we kind of have to learn the hard way. But I have spent my life getting out of hardship. When you are deeply aligned with your soul's purpose and your path and you don't resonate with deep pain and suffering, then there's truly no need to ever settle, especially when you're making your own money. This is why I'm so passionate about helping women become abundant, because it automatically elevates our standards in dating. So yeah, I don't want to be a part of reality if a lot of reality is suffering in relationships. I want to be part of the smaller percent where people have an extraordinary relationship. It contributes in every facet of their life. We want to stay out of touch with reality as much as possible in this matrix. So keep your standards unapologetically picky, and let's normalize having extraordinary relationships. Okay, love you, bye.
If this hit a nerve, good. Maybe it's time to look in the mirror before pointing fingers. Drop a comment if you dealt with somebody who's expected the world but brings nothing to the table. Like, subscribe, and stay real. We're not sugarcoating the truth here. Peace, and we'll see you in the next one.